In recent times, there has been a global push for increased transparency in the extractive sector. Many countries and organizations have implemented initiatives and regulations to promote contract disclosure. Despite some progress made in implementing the extractive industry's transparency initiative standards, Nigeria is still lagging behind in ensuring an open process in contracts awards. For instance, the 2023 Open Budget Survey, conducted by the International Budget Partnership, shows that Nigeria ranks 92nd in fiscal transparency among 125 countries assessed globally. The result, which shows the country's drop in ranking from 45th in 2021 to 92nd in 2023. We sampled various opinions on the level of transparency and accountability in government and oil companies in terms of standard of operation in the extractive sector.
Disclose the Deal campaign in Nigeria has come a long way. And in the extractive sector, most especially the oil and gas, it has been over 5 decades. What we have in Nigeria now is like the camel passing through the eye of a needle when we talk of transparency and accountability. Agencies responsible, especially we talk about the NNPCL and others, are not disclosing their operations. Contracts are entered in secrecy. So it's a hydra dragon with multiple dreaded faces. Like you have about 57 marginal oil fields. And the EITR, the global EITR standard said that from January 2019, that whatever contract you enter to must be disclosed. So those 57 marginal oil fields, they are contracts, arrangements, documents are in secret. So the contract engagement in Nigeria is in secrecy. So the Nigerian masses, that is the public, also have to rise up and demand transparency and accountability. Because governance, or the processes of making a nation great, has 2 sides. Demand side of accountability and supply side of accountability. So the citizen has to demand for accountability, because most leaders cannot willingly disclose their stewardship until the masses demand.
Contract transparency has been a huge challenge in Nigeria over the years for all companies. And it has always been argued that there is more opacity in the oil and gas companies in Nigeria. That was why in 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Open Government Partnership. And one of the major focus of the Open Government Partnership is the need for contract transparency. In fact, it led to the Bureau of Public Procurement devising a platform called NOCOPO, where all contracts in Nigeria will be uploaded. And all the people that receive the contract, the money they receive, and the level of implementation will be known to the public. Unfortunately, that has not been done. And so, today, we see that there is still a lot of opacity in the oil and gas sector. And even though people who did transactions with Nigerians tied of oil and gas companies have been jailed for bribery and corruption in countries abroad, nothing has happened to their Nigerian counterpart. And I think that is why we must increase the advocacy for adherence to the Public Procurement Act and all the EITI principles that require not just contract transparency, but disclosure of beneficial ownership, so that there will be more transparency in the oil and gas sector.
I think the appropriate way is for transparency, one, accountability, people owning up to their responsibility in terms of when calling for bid, make it open, let it be community participatory, let people know what is happening in the industry environment, let them ask questions, and when they come to publish their report, let it be in such a way that a layman that picks the report can read, because the report at times is written in such a way that you need an expert to even translate it. Even if they come to say, okay, we've published the report, we have agitating, advocating that they publish their report, okay, they've even published it. Can people read it? Even if they read it, do they even know what the report is talking about? So we need to start making things easy for the people. When you make your report available, let it be a kind of community friendly stuffs that people will be able to read, translate, and understand what the report is talking about. When we come to data, they just declare half and keep the remaining half. So what happened to the remaining documents? And at times when you see this report, it's talking about A, another report is talking about B, and which is supposed to be the same thing. For example, when you say, okay, for example, in this industry, 10 naira was made in this report, another report will tell you 30 naira was made. So you will just be wondering, which of the reports do you really take?
Well, like you know, the processes are actually too cumbersome, and some of them are not even transparent in terms of making public to know the processes involved, from the bidding processes to the end of contracting processes. And that actually made the wastages more, the leakages are also more wider open. The lack of transparency will also allow room for corruption and also allow room for bribery, which are all muster, a very big muster to the country. And the management of the resources of this country is also very poor in terms of allowing these leakages as a result of poor contracting processes, and also anti-corruption fight. It kind of it's a challenge for the anti-corruption fight.
In strengthening the voices of host communities on efficiency and accountability in the extractive sector, we seek the opinion of some host communities to find out to what extent are they involved in the extractive contract deals, although some of the respondents pleaded anonymity.
The community, they didn't come to say, these communities along this pipeline, no, this contract is worth 100 billion or 2 billion.
The communities don't know such. They will not even have access to that now.
Okay.
Or you will only hear that the contract was given to OSAV and Next Oil.
Okay.
Next Oil working from the other side of the river state to about a Bedi area there too. OSAV working from Bedi down to Edo.
Okay. But did they use local people from the community to be part of the work?
At least when the job started, the employment definitely will come now for the cluster communities. Definitely they will. They just have to know. It's normal.
No.
They also bring their own staff, and the community also bring in their.
Okay, so there were people from the community that were part of it. Okay. So you don't think that it is important that community people should also know that this contract that they are doing here is worth so amount?
Yes, it is important that community should know, if everything is being transparent, if government wants to give out job, I think it should be published. Those who are bidding for the job.
Yes.
After the bidding, it is also important that the community should know, so that when they are also dealing with a contractor, they will also ask for their own right. Knowing how much the contract is worth, when you are demanding for something, you should be able to also place your demand within that range of amount. The community persons monitoring project, yes, it is important that they should also be part of the system, because just like, for example, now, this pipeline that was laid, if they are going to do maintenance, it is paramount that the community persons should be involved. Because for somebody to come and tamper with the pipeline, the community persons will be the first to know, those who were in that area. So community are supposed to be part of monitoring government projects. If government can bring in people together, the community and the company, bring them together, those who are going to do the job. Okay, you work together as a team. This contract was given for so amount. This is the bill of quantity. This is what and what is expected of them to do. Maybe in some roads they give out a contract. We'll just be happy that they are doing a road for us, without even knowing the standard and the quality. Is it the road going to carry drainage? What's the coating of the tar on it? What inches it is? So those are the things community persons should also be put in the know.